Hello, I'm Cheryl Vitale, General Manager of Kiehls Worldwide. I am honored to share that Kiehls is partnering with Alicia Kiehls and Keep a Child Alive to raise funds to provide life-saving HIV treatment, nutritious food, and loving support for children and families living with and affected by HIV/AIDS. On behalf of Kiehls, I am so proud to help make an impact on this global epidemic.
Nothing seems complete.
Keep a Child Alive's mission is about providing the medicine for children and families who have AIDS in India and Africa and wouldn't be able to afford it. It's also about, providing dignified treatment and care, and particularly about scaling up organizations that are on the ground already. So NGOs that are already in the communities, already in the areas, and already know the needs of the people there, and would already be doing it anyway, and are already doing it anyway, and we're able to help scale them up and allow them to reach more people and have more access. I'm really excited about partnering with Kiehls on our Keep a Child Alive mission, where Kiehls is actually donating 100% of the profits of a special edition midnight recovery concentrate to Keep a Child Alive. Which is incredible. So if you go buy that, if you go buy their midnight concentrate, then they donate all those proceeds to Keep a Child Alive. When I was younger, my main dream was to become an artist and a musician, particularly one that wrote music and songs about the world or people that people would relate to and love and sing at the top of their lungs. That's how I viewed it in my mind, As I've grown and really seen the way that life happens, and every day I learn something new, Every day I learn something new, and I realize there's more things I want to be a part of. I remember the first time that I had the opportunity to speak in front of people, I won an award, and I didn't really know what to say, And I remember feeling like if I have the chance to speak to people in any way, I want to say something, that's meaningful to them. I want to do something that's meaningful to them. Being a mother really affects my work with Keep a Child Alive, particularly because there's I've always been very empathetic to the whole scenario and with, really getting the treatment to people who deserve to live. Everyone deserves to live, And I've always been really empathetic about it, and at first, when I first met some of these kids, I was like 20, and they were 18, 17, 16, and they were, watching their parents die because they didn't have access to the medicine that would keep them alive. Meanwhile, this medicine exists, at that time in the West, and, because of the fact they couldn't afford it, they couldn't have it. And that just seemed so unfair to me. And I was so driven to bring that story back and talk about that, because it was just like, how could this actually exist? So you're telling me it exists, but you can't afford it, so you can't have it, so people are just left to die? It just didn't seem right. So now, fast forward, and being a mother, that concept really resonates with me even more, because these kids are left on their own. They end up becoming the heads of their households, so it ends up becoming what's called child-headed households, where maybe the oldest sibling is 15, and they're taking care of 9-year-olds and 7-year-olds and 3-year-olds, and it's and they have to figure out how to get them to school, how to get them clothes, how to get them food, how to keep a roof over their head. How are they going to continue their life and learning and education? It's like a vicious cycle. So as a mother, that means a lot to me. And I would want someone to listen to my son, Wouldn't you want someone to listen to you or to your son if he needed help? You would want someone to pay attention. So that definitely means a lot. Yeah, balancing it all is definitely challenging, but when you're passionate and you love what you do and you love every part of it, it is possible, So being a social activist or being an artist or being an entrepreneur, being a businesswoman, being a mother and a wife. You know, they all have their own sections and their own times, but they all live together, you know, and it's all part of who I am as a whole person. So with the passion and the love for each part of it, it all becomes possible. And heavy scheduling. I'm like a scheduling monster beast. Like every day has to have like a very, very compact schedule, and I put in, you know, the time I need for myself and the time I need for my family, the time I need to do special things with my son, the time I have to, you know, go do things in the business world. So all those two things together, passion and schedule, it's like my secret. Being happy, you know, and checking in with myself and finding out where I am and maybe what's going on in my life that's making me really happy. What are the things that are going on that are kind of like very frustrating or draining, and trying to identify them and like make an action, a choice to solve it or eliminate it. You know, that's not always easy. Sometimes it's easier to just kind of ignore the issue or the problem, but to really address it and face it, it just helps you feel lighter, you feel clearer, you feel, you know, more in tune with yourself. And also I love prayer is very important for me. Meditation is actually very important for me. I'm recently really implemented that more heavily in my life, and that's really a nice space for my own self too, which is very important. You need time for your own self.